Now that the new year is here, many of us feel a familiar pressure. Set bigger goals, raise your standards, push harder, especially if you're a high achiever. So today I want to pause and ask you, how can you pursue your goals without burning yourself out in the process and being compassionate with yourself instead? Welcome to Corporate Therapy, where we talk about work, performance, and ambition without disconnecting from the human side of success and without burning out. I'm Paulise, executive and career coach, and here we focus on clarity, intention, and practical ways to work well without burning ourselves out. Because for many high performers, the problem isn't lack of ambition or laziness, it's the cost of how that ambition is pursued. We often think pressure is what keeps us sharp, but more often than not, the pressure we feel isn't external, it's internal. And that kind of pressure, like harsh self-expectations, perfectionism, constant self-monitoring, doesn't fuel motivation. Most of the times it drains it. And as you think about 2026, I want to offer a different approach to setting stretch goals. One that doesn't lower the bar. One that actually helps you perform better over time. And that approach is compassion. So high performers often unintentionally sabotage their own goal setting process, not because they don't care enough, but because they care so much. Here's what I see over and over again with driven, capable people. They set unrealistic expectations. They tie their self-worth to outcomes instead of progress. They focus more on what's missing than what's working. They feel guilty for not doing enough, even after meaningful effort. And slowly, something shifts. Goals stop feeling motivating. They start feeling heavy. Instead of clarity, there's pressure. So much pressure and stress. Instead of momentum, there's avoidance. You might notice procrastination creeping in, or a quiet resistance to goals you once felt really excited about. So again, it's not because you're lazy, but because your nervous system is overwhelmed. When goals are driven by self-criticism, they become a source of stress instead of direction. And over time, that leads to burnout. Not necessarily dramatic burnout, but a lot of chronic pressure, exhaustion, and disengagement. So now let's clarify something important. Self-compassion is one of the most misunderstood concepts in personal growth. Compassion doesn't mean lowering your standards, being passive or complacent, letting yourself off the hook. True compassion is grounded, it's honest, and it's realistic. Self-compassion means acknowledging your real constraints and capacity, reducing emotional friction and guilt, creating internal safety so that you can learn and adapt when something is not working, and making space for growth instead of fear. And very, very important, expecting and celebrating progress, not just success and perfection. So compassion allows you to see your situation clearly without adding shame or self-attack on top of it. And here's the paradox. People who practice self-compassion tend to persist longer, recover faster from setbacks, and maintain higher motivation over time. So compassion doesn't weaken ambition. It really stabilizes it. It's choosing honesty without punishment. It's the ability to look at your ear and say, what worked, what didn't, what changed, and respond with curiosity instead of criticism so that you can move on without any burden. If you criticize yourself, you will be afraid to fail again. But if you move on with curiosity and eagerness to learn and try again, you'll be happy to try again, no matter the outcome. So now as you plan your New Year goals, compassion changes the way reflection feels. Instead of pressure, it creates insights. So now it's time to create space to understand what supported you, what drained you, and what no longer aligns so that you can create goals for this year that are really meaningful to you. And that space is what makes better goals possible. Not rush goals, not reactive goals, but goals rooted in clarity, intention, and sustainable growth. I want to invite you to do something that might feel uncomfortable at first, but try it. Just choose 1 to 3 goals this year. No more than that. Not 10, not a long wish list, just 1 to 3. This isn't about lowering ambition, it's about respecting how focus actually works. When you spread your energy across too many priorities, nothing gets the depth it needs. So compassionate goal setting means choosing what truly matters and letting the rest wait. Once you've chosen your 1 to 3 goals, there's one more essential step. Decide what system you will put in place to make progress toward each goal. Not just motivation, not just intention, it's a system. So ask yourself, how will this goal show up in my calendar? What rhythm or routine supports it? What will help me keep going when motivation dips? Goals don't fail because people don't care or because they're lazy. They fail because there's no structure holding them. Compassion means designing goals that work with your life, not against it. So for 2026, try these 1 to 3 meaningful goals, one clear system for each, use time boxing to keep it on your calendar, and that's it. Compassion isn't about doing less this year, it's about choosing goals you can pursue without burning yourself out in the process. When goals come from emotional balance instead of self-criticism, and when they are supported by systems and a compassionate feedback loop, you're far more likely to stay engaged, adapt when things change, and keep going when motivation dips. So if this episode resonated, consider sharing it with someone who might need it right now, especially during the beginning of the year. And if you'd like support working through these patterns, I'd love to help. You can book a one-on-one coaching session. The link is right there in the episode description. And you'll also find a link to full articles I've written on compassion and goal setting if you'd like to go deeper. Thanks a lot for listening to Corporate Therapy. And as always, this week, try it. I'll see you in the next episode and you can tell me how it went. Talk to you soon. Bye.